Hi, everyone. A very, very good morning to you all. Today is our third session in this podcast where Nicole and we are again here gathered with our specific timeline. And obviously, we are excited to gather today as it is. My friend Nicole will always tell you today is Friday and Friday is a podcast day. Nicole is going to say it in her way.
If it's Friday, it's podcast day.
Yay! So today's podcast is pretty special because we love to read books. So, what today's podcast is about is decoding a chapter of the book that we like. Nicole has once given me a book. She's gifted me a wonderful book called The Unlimited Power by Anthony Robbins. This is the book. So, we
Yeah.
will be discussing it and we'll be only discussing the first chapter. Nicole has her book in Romanian language. Am I right, Nicole?
Yes, true.
So the reason that she got this book, she thought this book was something that is something that can be used on a daily life, something that can be
Definitely.
something that can develop a personality or a person. So because of our love of this book, especially, I think this is the book that got us together. That's why we thought let's discuss this book and let's share our discussion with you. Although we have previously discussed this book on a very short note, but today will be more elaborate, more exclusive, and more happy, on a happy note. On to you, Nicole.
Glad to be here once again. Like always, yes. Actually, the story of this book is that I was cleaning my library. I was trying to rearrange my books, and then I discovered this book. I still have no idea until today how this book landed on my library. So, because we girls do that, like when we clean the house, actually, we all start opening boxes that maybe long time we don't even remember what's there. We just place it there. So I did the same with my books. While I was not just, dusting them and let's say cleaning the dust. I was also like opening on the floor of the next to the library. It's like, where do I have this book from? I cannot remember and I have no clue how I got it. And yes, it's
That
in
sounds
Romanian,
cool.
in my language.
That sounds like the book wanted you to reach out to it.
It looks like. It looks like. And I started reading and I was like, and something also very interesting. Actually, there were some highlights. So
Mhm.
whoever owned this book previously
Oh,
uh,
it wasn't a
found
new
it
book.
also very interesting. No, it's not exactly. It's not a
Oh,
new. So
oh,
there are
okay.
already some highlights, that they
Mm.
caught my attention. And then I was like, I was absorbing each word, almost literally almost each word. And I was like, oh no, this book it's unbelievable. So I got it with me in Dubai and I continued reading it. And then I was like, no, this book worth being discussed. And
Yeah.
yeah. So this is when I thought of gifting you one. So I got one for you. And then I read a little bit also like whatever you're sharing from I mean I was asking you like please can I see like um is it looking the same? It's the
English
revised
version. Yeah.
is it a revised one? And then I was like, oh, how come in my language sounds even more catchy, even more, brain like minds opening. So just a small note before we start, I would suggest because I think this book it's translated in so many languages. I suggest if you have this book translated in your language, maybe try it in your language first and then in
Yeah.
English. I also believe that maybe this particular translator was super good
Mhm.
because he used such a rich vocabulary and like it makes you pause. It makes you pause and reflect and you're like, wow, sounds so simple and so it's like just a cliche. I mean, this is the thing. Whatever it's so simple, we tend to overlook it.
Yeah.
But we tend to underestimate the power of simplicity.
Very
But
true. Said like a boss. Yeah, you're
but
right.
if you really reflect on each word, you're like, I find it a treasure. I find this book a treasure.
Wonderful. And
So
that's
yeah,
why we are
in
here
the
today.
first chapter, we're trying to discuss today a little bit about the first chapter.
Yeah.
to
So please,
analyze it through our eyes.
yeah, you can start the opening of the first chapter. The
Oh,
first
thank you.
chapter is
This,
about the commodity of kings. Maybe
mm.
translated. How do you say it in Romanian language?
You see, that's why I'm saying that whoever translated it, I need to find out actually who translated it. Now and it's part of my curiosity. Because even the again, like the language is using the vocabulary, the words, like very, very rich, very classy, very knowledgeable. I guess this knowledgeable knowledge. He's talking a lot about knowledge, actually, right?
Nation.
Anthony
Yeah.
Robbins in this book.
So tell us, how do you say it in how do you say the first chapter?
Apanajul, which is
Apanajul.
the
Nice.
commodity, the translation. Regilor. Rege means
Raja means
king in
kings.
my language.
Raja
Apanajul
means kings.
regilor.
Can you hold your thought for a second? Because Raja means king in my language as well. And in Sanskrit, it also, like, the word comes from Sanskrit
Oh,
and it means Raja, and also in Indonesian
interesting.
it means Raja, which is amazing.
I have the feeling that this chapter cannot be discussed in one chapter, in one part only. I have the feeling that it needs a
But we
lot of,
will
which
try
is
our
fine,
best.
which is good, which is good.
So
We
I
shouldn't rush things.
I would like to know about this first chapter. What did you highlight? What is the first thing that you, maybe we can go through, because it's like paragraph and sentences. If we can
Yeah.
go through, what have you highlighted in the beginning and why did you like it? Please share on that.
Yeah, you see, actually, this book keeps impressing me again and again and again because when I revise it for our podcast, I highlighted even more things. Okay,
Oh,
so on the
more
first,
things
on the
Nicole has to say today. Please, the mic is yours. I'm a good listener, so I'll do one thing. I'll keep the book aside because I want to hear what you have to say.
actually, yeah, I will try to even translate it, and then I will say like, what did what stood out for me. Um, I like that he mentioned the fact that our personal value and our success and who we are,
Mm-hmm.
okay, it's not determined by how people see us, okay, or by what we have. Like, see, last time I read this book, this didn't
It did
really
jump.
caught my
It did
attention.
jump. Yeah, it didn't caught your attention.
Yeah, it didn't exactly. But this time I was like, wow. Ah, and he's even mentioning not even places. I love this book. I really love every word of this book, like literally. So it says your I'm just translating now. So your success it's represents, okay, your continuous
I'm taking the book.
work with yourself to become your continuous work to become it's the first um it's the last paragraph of the first page. I'm not quite sure how it will be in
Last of the first page.
in the
Okay, I
English version, but it
Yes,
says it
yes. Oh, yeah. Oh
opportunity.
my God. That was the first thing even I highlighted. In English,
Tell
it
me
says,
about.
to me, success is the ongoing process of striving to become more. That's that's the first thing I highlighted as well.
You see, it says, can you say it again, please?
To me, as in to the author,
Yeah.
success is the ongoing process of striving to become more. It is the opportunity to continually grow emotionally, socially, spiritually, psychologically, intellectually, and financially while contributing in some positive way to others.
I don't know why it's touching me deeply, really. Like, but again, when
Please.
when I read it in my language, that's why I strongly suggest try it. Just try it in your language first. It's like I'm literally getting goosebumps. Success, it's trying to be better. Success is trying. It doesn't say success is becoming better. Trying, it's enough. I like that. I love that.
Yeah, as in you mean to say ongoing process. It's not like a destination we've reached, it's an ongoing process.
Ongoing process. The process is the success. The process is the success itself. Like, right? Like,
Amazing. Like, this is like one. part of your brain just like pew, it just opened up like, whoa,
I
success.
know,
It's
and it's
not
been
like
it's maybe the third time I'm reading this first chapter, and now I'm like so touched, like because it's actually when you pause, stop, and reflect, this is what makes a difference.
another thing that I like after this exact sentence, it says the road to success is always under construction.
Let's be honest, how many times we heard that? Many times, right? But did we really
We
reflect on
did
that?
we didn't digest it. Now we are like,
Oh, I love this word. I love this word, digested. Oh, I love this word. Wow. And yeah,
I
and think how can you implement it in your daily life, right? And then on the second page, he mentioned something else that stood out for me again. Like, I work so hard to be successful, and I believe I'm successful. He doesn't say it this way, but this is how I understand it.
interpreted.
And I believe I'm successful. I'm successful, but I'm far from being unique,
Oh,
because he's trying to highlight, okay, since most of us have access nowadays to internet, to knowledge, to information, why some are so, they are living wealthy, successful lives, while others barely survive, which is
correct.
the reality.
Yeah, because
So he's saying, okay, so basically he's trying to describe a few points in the first chapter where he's highlighting that, okay, it's not enough to have access to information, but it's the ability to actually act.
yeah, the ability to act exactly. So I like what he says. However, today one of the largest sources of power is derived from specialized knowledge. So knowledge,
Specialized.
yeah.
Yes, I also highlighted that.
And in some parts of the book, he mentioned communication as one of the part
I
where
love that.
person, yeah. And I think communication, as in this is the world of communication. We are no longer primarily an industrial culture, but a communication one. We live in a time when new ideas and movement and concept change the world almost daily. And look at us, we are in the AI current, the current AI growth. I remember 10 years back when my boss, when I was working in the company, boss used to say, Internet of Things and AI will come up in the next 5, 10 years. You
Oh, you
see
used
AI.
to hear that at the
Yeah,
time.
I used to hear that. Coming back to communication, communication is the biggest commodity of communication, as in knowledge, is biggest commodity of this. What do you have to add to the part communication?
Yeah, I
Because
really loved another thing, and again, I feel like I'm getting goosebumps. It's touching me again. He mentioned something wonderful. He said, how we communicate with ourselves,
mm,
it's equally important, or maybe even more important,
right,
I guess. That,
right.
uh, the thoughts and whatever we're telling ourselves
Mm-hmm,
daily, okay,
mm-hmm,
creates our reality. Because again, a very cliche expression, you become what you think, or your thoughts become reality. But again, we tend to overlook it. Is it overlook it correct? Like, is
yeah,
it to
correct.
overlook
That's
it,
right.
right?
Yeah.
Whatever you're saying, whatever you believe that it's possible, and whatever you're telling yourself it's possible,
Mm-hmm.
then it is.
That is what it is exactly. The internal communication that you had just mentioned.
Internal communication. I like how you put that. Internal communication. And he even said in this first chapter, like, you can, and actually if you remember the following chapters, he's actually even he created a practice and an exercise, and he was comparing it with a filmmaker. Like,
Oh
if a
yeah,
filmmaker
the
wants to impress you with something, or make you like worried or scared or happy,
yeah.
he's going to play.
He's gonna play with the lights. He's gonna play with the sound. He's gonna play with his own tools to.
Maybe mute some thoughts that are not useful, like if we put it in
Mm,
this context of you being your own filmmaker,
yeah,
like reduce the noise that is not uh, um, that is too loud and
that is
doesn't
too
make you
loud. That is
focus, or
interrupt.
reduce the volume of the thoughts that don't
Yeah,
serve you, or
yeah.
increase the light
It-
of your
Very,
thoughts.
very true.
Like, I
And
really love that.
I remember, like, I was again, of course, revising it last night, and I read about that part, and I read about the part where he took the example of Steven Spielberg at the age of
Oh
36.
yes.
He became a very, very prominent director in the industry. E.T. Extraterrestrial was one of
Yes.
his movie, which he did a very good job. But from the age of 20, he used to sit down with directors, sit down with writers, sit down with producers, discuss everything, all these details. The
He had a
thing about
strategy. He knew what he wanted,
strategy, yeah,
right?
exactly. You knowing what you wanted is the first part of success. It says here, I wrote it down yesterday. Successful people do not have any special gift. A closer look tells you that the greatest gift the extraordinary successful have over the average person is their ability to get themselves to know what they want and to take the action.
Exactly. To take the action. Yeah. Um, yes, I like that part. I think I wanted to add something, but I mean, it's a lot to talk about because again, every I feel like every paragraph holds something precious in this
Yeah,
book,
it
right?
does. It's like every yeah,
It's
it does.
like you.
You can pick out something from there. It's like a wonderful tree of wisdom. There's like a lot of fruit to pick out from it.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I actually, yes, it's good to highlight things, underline them on on the book. I like this part. Usually, when we see successful people, we tend to believe or just say our first impulse. I will say it's like, oh, he just got lucky, or oh, his family was wealthy, or right, like we
Correct.
we
Very true. Yeah, he
we
says
find
that.
ourselves judging things from this point of view. But actually, it's like, again, what you said. You don't have to be super gifted or super lucky or to be successful, right?
You just need the ability to take action. That's it. This is the time you do something about what you want. If you have a clear vision of what you want, just go do it.
Me and Anjali were discussing earlier, just before we started, that actually what we are currently doing with this podcast, it's in a way putting in practice what we reading, what we are learning and reading in this book. Just start, just do anything because time passes anyways, right?
Like you
So
say, show up.
I was telling Anjali, like, what if in 5 years time will pass anyways? Okay, so in 5 years, let's say we're doing this podcast for 5 years. In 5 years, you'll be able to say, fingers crossed, you'll be able to say, oh, I've been doing podcasts for 5 years. But if you didn't take this step today, okay, then in 5 years,
You
you'll
missed
not say
out.
the same.
Yeah. Despite being not in the same country, we are still discussing, we're still talking, we still connect on a certain a certain intellectual values that we have. Okay, so this is our power. This is the power of communication. Like the book said, communication is power. Those who master it, it's effective. Use can change their own experience of the world and the world's experience of them. So through communicating, me and her, we are sharing our thoughts. She interprets the book in her way, I interpret the book in my way. No two people see it the same way, and I love learning from her and her thoughts, and I think vice versa, I would
Yeah,
say.
yeah. The
Yeah,
feeling is mutual.
I think this book has, I mean, the first chapter itself, you can see that there's a lot to give, a lot of gift
A
that
lot, and it's supposed to be an introductory, right? Usually if chapter one in a book, it just gives you a general idea, but he's already, in my opinion, he's already going deep
deep. Yeah, he's gonna go.
in
Yeah,
this
he's gone deep and very good. Yeah. For every
exactly.
discipline effort, there is a multiple reward. Imagine
Multiple
one,
rewards.
let's say multiple is 10. One effort you do, 10 rewards. One effort, 10 rewards. Like, why not?
Actually, you know what? I didn't reflect on that, but if it's true, how wonderful is that, right?
What if?
What if things are really happening that way? Like you said, you do something, and actually, this something works in mysterious ways that you
Yeah,
might not be even aware of. Hmm.
exactly. I mean, like, who knew? Who knows what will happen if you follow his formula, what he's given precisely,
He
and
called
if
it
you follow it anything.
discipline effort in English.
For every discipline effort, there is a
Discipline,
multiple reward.
discipline. You
For
see,
every,
discipline, it's a word that when we're kids, we didn't really like it, right?
oh, we hated it.
Yeah, because
Why should we go
we
to
needed
sleep at
to be
8 o'clock at night?
disciplined, discipline.
When we
But
were kids, we wanted to become an adult. Now that we are adults,
I would like to just
Yeah, of course, of course. I
add
want to,
something
I
here.
want to hear this.
What I liked, again, something very important is that, okay, the path to success or the way to success, or the steps he mentioned in the formula success, supreme success formula. He
Ultimate
gave
success
this name
formula.
to
Yeah,
his method.
yeah.
He mentioned 4 steps. And then he gave 2 examples, as you said, Barbara Black, the dean of the Law University of
Columbia University. Yeah, School of Law. Correct. Yeah,
okay, Colombia, yes. That, as you said, she dreamt of becoming a dean.
yeah.
So which was, I think, a little bit unusual for women. It's maybe
It
at the
is
time, so that's why
at
it was
those
so
times
big. Yeah, I
because she
guess so.
was in a dominantly male field. She was
Mm.
basically, well, all male were like everything, president, lawyer, blah, blah, blah. She wanted to be a dean of Columbia University.
So you
Continue.
you see, like, if we link this with what he mentioned, he said. So I think she followed actually all the steps he mentioned in the supreme success formula.
Ultimate success. Yeah.
First, he said, first step is define your goal. Correct?
Hmm.
Like, if you have a goal or a dream, and um, y- it will be just, it will stay forever a dream if you don't act, if you don't start doing something about it.
True, very true.
Yeah,
So she decided to put
she
her
got her
career.
license. So first she got her
Ah,
law license.
yeah, she got her
Fair enough.
law license. Then
Yeah.
she was like, nine. She developed the family first, and then she took 9 years.
But for 9 years, she chose to become a mother and to have a family. She only postponed her dream of being a dean, but she never gave up. So
Yeah,
after 9 years, she went back, and because here she's saying also the third step, it's following your your dream closely. Like, don't just start and that's it. So I think his what he wants to really emphasize on is like the awareness, the everyday awareness. You don't skip it. You don't say like, today I don't really feel on like working on my dream. He said, no,
Ev-
monitor it, right?
mm. Every day,
Monitor it.
constantly monitoring,
Mm, mm.
constantly doing
Am I
her
getting closer
research.
to my goal?
Yeah,
And then he said, okay,
constantly developing on herself.
constant.
Constantly, she did that.
Constant.
Because she
Yeah.
had her belief system, she expanded then her belief system. She changed her
Mm.
approach later on. She combined both goals. And finally, later on, she had the all the right characteristic qualification to be the dean of
Yeah.
this law school.
Because it was what? It was goal. So set a goal, act the second step. Third,
Develop sensory equity, meaning
yeah,
you
I
have.
think, he's talking about this fine, this always have, like, this is what I understand. That developing this fine acuity, yes, of observing observing yourself,
Actually, at this point,
right?
right? Yeah, observing yourself, having that conversation with yourself.
Mm,
Uh,
mm,
yeah, so okay, I found the paragraph finally. So the
yeah,
third step is to develop the sensory acuity or equity to
acuity, okay.
recognize the kinds of responses and result you're getting from your action and to note as quickly as possible if they are taking you closer to your goal or farther away. So
Yeah.
whatever you're doing, she is breaking it down on a daily basis.
Oh, perfect. Amazing.
She's
I
breaking
like
it
it.
down. Is this point what I'm doing now? Let's say in today's world, we are watching TV, our favorite show we're watching. Is this going to take me closer to my goal? No, cancel
I
out.
like that.
And then
Priorities, right?
let's say we are reading now.
Yeah, there
She's
are there are words that, I think, even like, it's nice. It's even this concept of putting notes on your house.
Oh
And you
yeah,
can say,
yeah,
like,
post-it
you
cards.
just say, now I like what, priorities,
Mm.
priorities.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, I think,
yeah.
yeah, words that can highlight. And then the fourth step he mentioned, and what Barbara, this lady did, Barbara Black did, was flexibility. He's mentioning flexible enough to go along with things that you cannot
Her life.
control
Yeah,
or might.
her life.
So I
Family.
believe she was flexible enough when she decided to have a family. She said, "Okay, I still want to be a dean, but I'm flexible enough. Let's put it that way, to also give myself time." And even if it was a good numbers of years,
Mm, mm.
number of
And I
years.
think this part where she is following her family, she's developing her family, this sensory equity, which is the third point of the success
Yeah,
formula, is where it came to play very, very foundationally, very, very focus. She focused on this third step very much. Like in the beginning, it says
I agree.
consistent path. First step is to know what you want. She knows what she wants to achieve.
Correct.
Second step is to take the action. Otherwise,
She
take the
did.
action. You must
Yeah.
take, well, probably you have to see how can you achieve that. You take the action. What is the necessary action? And the third is sensory equity. Whether whatever you're doing on a daily basis, will it bring you there or
I
make
like
you
how you put it that way because it was a little bit hard for
this?
me to understand what he meant,
Yeah.
but you put
Even
it
me.
in
In the beginning, I had to
very
reread it
clear.
twice to understand
Yes,
what he meant by sensory equity because it's not something we come across every day.
yeah,
So
exactly.
this is where we all stumble. I think we as normal people,
Mm.
we know we want that, but because there are hurdles, so we stumble, we fall, then we're like, okay, back off, back off. Something is wrong. No. But actually, this is
Like
where
we've discussed today, I had so many reasons of saying, "Oh, let's do it later, let's do it tomorrow." A lot of things
procrastinate.
going on. You see a lot of things right, but I think we are also trying to put in practice, like I said before, what we're learning, because what's
Consistency.
learning without acting, right?
Yes. And you also said that in fact,
So here we are.
about being ready and not being ready and do it. It's better to not be ready and do it than being ready and not doing it at all. Like, me in my previous, I would say my previous life, meaning my when I was my teens, when I was my 20s, it was like if I'm not motivated, I will not do it. If I'm not 100% there, I will not do it. Like anything.
That's perfectionism, baby.
It's
I
a
know another
fault.
one here. That's why we're friends.
Yeah. Oh my God,
So
we've
let's
never
cross
addressed this.
perfectionist. We put a note on the room. We cross perfectionist. Bit.
We have to do that. Yeah.
Hand in hand with procrastination, wanting to delay things because you find it like it's not perfect yet. It's not the perfect timing. I don't have this perfect background. I didn't prepare enough. I didn't prepare enough, or I didn't prepare as much as I wanted. Will not do it because I wish that I'm not even
You're
touching
not
this book.
fully
I just
prepared.
pick,
Yeah.
I just pick from my own knowledge. No, this is how we learn,
Yeah. This is how we learn.
and this is how
Exactly.
we do
This is
it.
how we do it. Yeah, exactly. So,
Yay!
being in this environment, Barbara Black took her step. She still continued with her daily habits. She probably, sharpened her intellectual, sharpened her knowledge, sharpened. In one part, they said she really went deeper into her writing skills, deeper into her teaching skills, developed teaching, researching, writing, and that led her to the job that she always wanted. And that was not,
Amazing.
yeah, and that
Amazing
was something.
successful
And
story.
and hey, we did not mention the fourth point of this.
Flexibility, no? Yeah, did you say flexibility?
Yeah,
No?
the flexibility. So does that come
She
under
had
this?
that as well. She
It.
postponed her studies for 9 years.
Hmm, hmm,
But
nice,
that's why
yes.
I'm also impressed because postponing something for such long time might be like you, because we're speaking about motivation in our previous podcast. It might be demotivating. You might feel like, oh, I'm out of this league, like, I don't know anything anymore about law. How am I getting back?
Yeah.
Because this can be like a mental trap in a way. I'm a psychologist by profession. I mean, I cannot say that I don't. I'm not practicing now because I also became a mother and I also gave a lot of time to my family. But I mean, it's a different story in my case. It's like I feel like I want to do something else. But I was just trying to make a parallel, a comparison, because 9 years is a long time. So it's so impressive that she was so consistent with her dream. So impressive.
I think it's
Really, really
amazing.
a
I
very good
salute
example
her for
of
that
this.
because you imagine there are a number of people, number of men in that society where who tells her, who keeps it in her mind, you're a woman, what can you do?
That means her communication with herself was really good, right?
Very connected with herself. Very.
Can
Another
I add, can
person,
I add on this point that you said, very connected with herself? Because I also love something about another thing that I love so much about this book and about the things is not about the book, about the writer actually, because he wrote these things,
yeah,
okay? It's like he's saying you don't only need your mind to put into action, you need your body. He said how you at some point it's highlighted somewhere here. He said even the way you carry your body, you
yeah,
move, the
yeah,
way
yeah.
you move,
The facial expression. Yes,
basically
that's the external
so into
communication.
details,
Hmm.
right? You went. Sorry, like we are both excited, so we're
That is
like.
that is very good to mention because can you continue that? Very good to mention that.
No, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think I was about to. I like that he's using very catchy words.
Yeah,
Like I also wrote down here, he's
yeah, he
talking
does.
about personal energy,
Mm-hmm.
your personal energy. I mean, this is how I translated this from English, motamo. I'm not quite sure where
Otamo.
where is this.
Mm.
He's talking about also your personal. I also don't find the perfect English for this. Not sex appeal, but in that area, your vibe, your
Why?
personal vibe
Why?
in a way.
You know,
There's another word.
today I came, was it today? Yeah, today I came across this word. I was listening to my morning podcast and I came across this sentence. The guy said, your energy introduces you before you introduce yourself.
First, you open the door first, your energy goes in,
Energy
and
goes
that's
in.
all right.
Then only, like, okay, one thing. And how does your energy speak with, how does a person see your energy? Through your body posture. That's the first thing they see, your body posture. How are you walking? Are you walking with a confident stride? Or are you walking with like, oh, I have nothing to look forward to in my life. I'm so like, this, I'm just gonna go home and sleep right now. I'm so like
Oh
weak,
no,
you know?
oh no, like pause, reflect,
The thing is awareness. Once somebody
aware.
creates an awareness in you, and I think this podcast is about awareness, creating an awareness with people.
This is what we're trying here, yes,
Posture.
to share with you our journey of
And you
our journey
mentioned
of
this.
developing, of
I think this was a very
evolving.
important mention. So he mentioned, he says that your energy introduces you before you actually introduce yourself, and how people see you from far is from body posture, and then later
Mm.
on, your physical action on how you're walking and everything, and then also your facial expression. A lot of the times when
I
we're
love
walking,
that.
this is what I
I
notice. I'm walking and there's a person coming from across me. I don't bother looking at the person's face or smiling because I'm like, it's a stranger and I don't want
Yeah, I
to.
don't stare at people. I'm like I tend
Yeah.
to just I might meet you on the way and not see you just for you to know. Like if
Oh,
one
is it?
day I
You're the
we
flirt
cross
type.
paths and I don't see you, so like
And then second, and another thing deeper as you get to know a person, what is your tone speaking with that person? Are you using a high tone or are you using a softer tone speaking with that person? So how do you command yourself? How do you want to show
mm.
yourself to the world? And then the third is your words. What are the words you choose? How do you speak? And of course, this comes with practice, a lot of practice. How do you speak? What words do you choose to
Or if you're a
communicate?
natural like you do some are
Oh,
not some I
you're
believe
natural.
some people don't make any effort to be because I'm pretty sure it happened to you. Like when you listen to a podcast and wow, I like that. And everything that how that person presents and express herself makes you either be um, attracted to and easy to follow and to listen to,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or it
I
happened
already
to
have
me,
someone in mind. Mm.
yeah.
Mm.
And it also happens to me the opposite, that I'm trying to listen to a podcast or whatever that requires listening,
Mm.
and even watching sometimes, and I cannot follow. And guess what? Sometimes, wow, I remember something else. And sometimes they are really knowledgeable, good, famous, intelligent people. But
Mm.
just because maybe they speak too fast, or as you said, the tone of voice, it's too high. And
Mm.
I think I have a lot of work on that as well. So it's good that we're doing this to become more self-aware of my how I
You and me both, sister. You and me both. We are all
okay,
improving
just
here.
about that about after the podcast.
Yeah.
But it's true, it's true. Because if you really want to be successful, here is a point. Because what's the benefit of being so knowledgeable? Like I also I was mentioning a neuroscientist in our previous podcast, if you remember, if you might
Right. Yeah.
remember.
Yeah. The neural
Very
pathway.
knowledgeable. Like it was so interesting what he was saying, but I was annoyed with the way he was speaking, to be honest. Too rushed, too fast.
Kick
Because when you
off.
have a lot of knowledge, you tend to speak for yourself. You're like, you just want to go through. And sometimes I think also excitement kicks in. This might be my case. When I get very excited, I tend to raise my voice. I tend to speak too fast just because I want to touch on everything,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
You want to
Excitement,
finish. You want to
excitement.
get to
But
all
if
the
you're
points.
aware that okay, I'm addressing myself to more than one person, okay,
Mm.
maybe okay, my family tolerates me, my friends tolerate me, but what if I need to speak to a bigger audience? I need to be aware of like how do I
To deliver. Yeah.
use
Your speech.
my tone of voice, how do you deliver your speech? I like that to make it.
Wonderful words. Oh, you know what? Thank you for saying that. And the fact that we are discussing this, we are not just only touching the first chapter of this book, we are actually covering a lot more.
A
And
little bit
then
more
in the
of
same pool, in the same subject
yes.
that we are talking, which is really, I would say, powerful. I would say,
Because like I will compare it again with the school system. Yes, sometimes we might not like the school system when everything is repeated, 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 repeated. But there is a key in there, because in order for us to master something, sometimes you need to hear it or you need to discuss it thousand. If it's worth discussing thousands times, then do it. Because this book, I feel like it's I don't know, like a book to really like sleep on, at night.
tear the
Just
pages and
when
chew
in
it.
doubt, open this book.
The fastest way to acquire knowledge, tear the pages and chew it and swallow it.
I wish.
Please don't follow this. Cancel this. So before you start doing the characteristic that he mentions, the author mentions, I would like to just cover a little bit about Colonel Sanders. He was at the age of 60 above when he became successful with his chicken recipe. Coming to know in this day and age, he was the founder of KFC. So he did not start until he wasn't successful until the age of 60, 65, like that. He had a chicken recipe. He had his own restaurant, which got eliminated. It was routed somewhere else. He started selling his chicken recipe to everywhere. About 1,009 people rejected him. Can you imagine that? That much
Yeah.
people rejected him. A person, a
And
normal
still
person,
had the
a
power
non,
to
yeah,
ask a 1010th time.
yeah,
No.
he had the power to ask 1,010 time, and that was his bingo. That's it done. Then he made a fortune, and then he basically showed us that he was very determined in his action, and that's where he became successful. And until today, we know who he is. The two most famous outlets in this world, I would say, is McDonald's and KFC. On to
We're
you.
not getting paid for that, sorry. We're just discussing a book. It's there is a paragraph that maybe I would just like just the last paragraph that I want to uh, highlight. But I don't know exactly how to put this in English, so maybe you can help me with that and tell me how did he write it. he's giving examples of Fonda, Reagan, Spielberg.
Yeah,
What do
okay.
they have in common? Go a little bit further.
Yes,
And then again about your internal communication. And then it says something like only you can decide what to believe and how to act. Okay? So can you read this paragraph because I want to this word I want to give it
digested.
give it yeah how to say
Alive.
it give the yeah give the Caesar what belongs to the Caesar like
Okay. So I think the part that you're mentioning is you are the one who decides how to feel and act based upon the ways you choose to perceive your life. We have mentioned this before when me and you were talking.
But you see again, decision. You see another word, but this is you see this is the second word actually in this paragraph, decision. Because I remember when you asked me like in that our podcast, what happens when the motivation fluctuates? Like what keeps us
Yeah,
motivated when
yeah,
we wake up one day and you're like, okay, I have this goal, but I'm not really motivated today. So
yeah.
I remember I said, okay, sorry to say that, but I don't think it just disappears. Motivation is something like we have to entertain, we have to work on, and we can simply decide not to do that thing. It doesn't just vanish. So you see, again, I like here. Only you can you repeat it, please?
You are the one who decides how to feel and act based upon the ways you choose to perceive your life.
Amen to that. So we don't. Okay.
It's
So,
like a Bible verse for you.
yes.
Amen to
So
that.
you see, even feeling it's not something that happens to us. We choose to feel in a
Yeah.
certain way. Ah,
It's funny that we think that we are running on autopilot, but at one point of time, we created that feeling in our body, in our mind, in our thoughts. And then we think that
you're
this
very good at
situation,
summarizing what I want to say. That's why we're a good team. We're making a good team. Thank you.
so we are the one who at one point went through this condition, went through this situation, and we are like, okay, this is how I'm going to make myself
We
feel.
decide how we want to feel. We don't just feel and that's it.
Yeah,
Because you're like, oh, I'm feeling sad. No, but you can just decide to not to be sad, right? We can. We can actually.
it's something to be
Can you
aware about. Exactly.
I think it should be somewhere. Words of the day. You know what? Maybe every podcast we choose some words and we're like, pew, like
Yeah,
I don't.
well, sentence of the day in this case.
Hmm.
Yeah, you know what?
Can you
Thank you for
continue?
coming back to that. Hmm.
Sorry. Can you continue? So nothing, because I want to. There is another word I want
Okay.
to.
Nothing has any
Special.
meaning. Nothing has
Uh,
any meaning except the meaning we give it.
nothing has any meaning. Nothing has any meaning except
Except
the meaning
we give it.
we are
We
we
give
give
it.
it, right?
Simple. Simple. Nicole, thank you so much for sharing what you shared. It's really profound what you had just shared. I really loved it. And I would like to share my point as well before we obviously get into our next part, next podcast, next Friday. I would just like to close in with this exact sentence which I've written. It says, successful people started with a target, and you can't hit one if you don't have one. You can't hit one if you don't have one. The main thing is define your goal. Pick a target, be focused, okay? They took action each time, adapting, adjusting, kept changing until they found what worked.
Actually, we most of the times we really don't know what we want, right?
We don't know what we want, and that's our human error. We don't know what we want.
Wow, I like that. A human error. Wow, Anjali. Oh.
You know how
Where
they
did you
say,
get that from? Because I really liked it. A human error.
on that note, let's end
Right.
this. I like that we had discussed the half of the first chapter because the other half will be more and more interesting. I'm sure we'll make it so good that.
Amazing. I'm coming now. Thank you so much. And sorry, my
All
son is
right, I
here.
know you gotta go.
Next
Bye,
time.
and
Bye
I'll
bye.
see you
Thank you,
again next
everyone.
week.
Thank you, Anjali. Bye.
Bye. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for listening in, and here I go.